Instagram Reels, it takes more than beating the Instagram algorithm or copying trending Reels to discover how to grow on Instagram and reach more viewers. In this video, this is why your Reels are not going viral. We're discussing Instagram Reels content creation, video editing tips, and marketing strategies to help you increase followers from increased viewership, including answering our main question: what might be stopping your IG Reels from going viral? So let's get into it today as we help you step your gram up on the latest episode of the Social Roundtable. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on another brand new episode of the Social Roundtable with a great topic that we know that you guys have been asking for. We get it in our comments all the time, whether it's in our broadcast channel or just in our regular content. It's all about IG Reels today. We know IG Reels is one of the most popular content formats on Instagram, but you probably want to know how you can make the most out of it, optimize them to the point where they're bringing in more followers for you and more sales and engagement. And today we are glad to have an incredible guest join us today who has been doing a lot of that. But before we go to our guest, I want to say shout out to our moderator that's joining us in the live chat, IG Live with Angela. She's in the live chat with you guys. So shout out to her. She'll be the one you don't see on the screen, but you'll feel her presence in the live chat. So thank you so much, Angela, for joining us, as well as my regular co-host every week, Megan. What's going on, Megan?
Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Super excited for today's live. As Hassan said, this is a very hot topic, very important for us to discuss why your reels aren't going viral. And we couldn't think of anyone better than to have the incredible James to come join us on this topic. So, James, could you take a second to just say hello to the audience and introduce yourself, what you do?
Hi, everyone. My name is James, owner and founder of Via Masi. Basically, what I do is really helping business owners, creatives create content that converts to effective storytelling. And it's really about understanding what your strategy is and creating an optimal strategy accordingly. So,
Absolutely. And we're so glad to have you here join us, James. As you guys probably see on the screen right now, we're going to be talking about a few strategies and tips to help you stop viral blocking your own reels. Sometimes we are our own biggest enemies in regards to our progress on social media, but we're going to show you guys a few tips and strategies that we use ourselves to help boost our Instagram reels and go viral and be successful with them in various ways. And I think we're going to have a great conversation here today. We will be taking a couple questions if we can fit it within our time. Go ahead in the live chat and share a couple questions. We might be able to answer them during our conversation. But we're going to kind of jump right into it. Just to remind you guys, this is the Social Roundtable, a weekly live series that myself and Megan host every week here Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I know you're going to get a lot of value from this conversation today with our amazing guest, James. So all of our information, links, to our YouTube and Instagram is in the description. If you want to follow us for more, make sure you do that as we jump into our conversation today, all about this is why your reels are not going viral. Are you guys ready to talk about this topic that I know a lot of people are ready for?
So
ready.
ready.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I am so glad to jump right into it. We're not going to waste a lot of time. We're not going to beat around the bush. I do want to read a poll that I've actually shared. James, every time we do a topic like this, I like to share a poll to our audience on YouTube,
Mhm.
kind of see where they're at in regards to the topic. And the poll that I shared, it was on Friday, and I got some interesting data back from them. On YouTube, I asked, have you ever had an IG reel go viral? 36% of the responding audience said yes, which means almost almost double said no. They've never had an IG reel go viral before, and I think a lot of people are just in that same boat in regards to never reaching that level of just the possibilities of bringing their content to a wider audience beyond just their regular followers. But I'm glad that we have you here today because it's something that you do pretty much, it
Mhm.
seems like, on the regular. So I want to ask you, and we're going to go around to everybody to kind of share a tip or two in regards to this question. I'm going to ask you first, James.
Mhm.
What may be stopping someone's IG reel from going viral? What is it that they might be doing wrong?
One thing, there's a plethora of different options, but one thing is doing the same thing every single time. So what I always tell my audience to do, or I always tell my clients to do, is test out different formats, because sometimes it's not the value; it's all about the way that you package it. So there's different types of videos you could do. You could do a skit style video. There's the educational talking head.
Mm.
There's so many different ways that you could create content, but at the end of the day, you need to find something that's very share worthy. So for us, what was very share worthy, well, mostly a lot of my audience is video editors. So sound effects has been something that has gone crazy viral. And then I made a whole series into it. So the first question is find what works. And once you figure out what works, make a series out of it. Find other content that you could infuse that into that type of package, and kind of go on from there.
I like that. You're talking about different styles of content. That's really a great way to look at it. Anything you wanted to add to that, Megan?
Well, I love that tip. And also, adding what works into a series, which makes me curious. Everybody in the audience, let us know with either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Have you ever created a series with your Instagram Reels? Very interested. If you have, you want to add what your series is about, we would love to know too, but don't have to. Feel free, just thumbs up, thumbs down, because series really do work incredible when done right. Like James said, when it's about a topic is what your audience really wants to see, it's going to do really, really well if you continue to add that value. Plus, it's going to help get those people to come back over to your page if they are just finding you. So, definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and I know James has a great series, the one with the sound effects, which is always, as you're talking about, the majority of your audience, you know your audience well, so you are aiming directly for your audience with these sound effects that video editors are looking for, and you're giving it right there. And you had the added bonus of, with the call to action and getting them into an actual audience or segmented audience to give them that offer. That's awesome. So series is a great way. We speak about that almost every, I feel like we talk about it at least almost every week, Megan, on the show to some degree or form. But I think a lot of people are starting to catch on. Series are really important. Thank you so much for your first answer, James. We might spin back around, but see how much time that we have and see if we can share something else as well. Megan, how about you? Do you have something in line in regards to the question? I'll repeat the question for those that are just not joining in. What may be stopping someone's IG reels from going viral?
So we hear about hooks all of the time, and I share a lot on my page about different written hooks that you can add on screen, but what is underrated is also the audio hook and the visual hook. So, what is being said if there is someone actually talking, or if there's a voiceover, or even if there is audio of the sound, like maybe there's music, does that music make sense? Is it aligned with the overall vibe of the video? And then that visual hook of actually starting your reel with something that is interesting, that catches the eye, and not just playing something that has been done over and over. So it's like the smallest thing can really help step that reel up, and combining those three different types of hooks. Now, I know the hook gets so much attention because it is super valuable, but I don't want people to feel like, okay, I got those hooks, I'm good now. Like the rest of the video doesn't matter, because that is so not true.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to then deliver on that hook, that promise, in the most condensed way possible, while making sure you're not removing that value, right? So that is a very difficult thing for everyone to do. I know that we enjoy really sharing all of our stuff, or we kind of share vaguely without getting to that point. So finding that magic middle ground is super important.
Good, good addition. I knew one of us was going to bring up hooks, and I think we probably all had it on our list because that is like the biggest thing that we talk about, especially with reels. But I think it applies to all content, almost on every platform. If you want to start talking about YouTube, they actually break it down even shorter to the first. I don't want to say shorter. Instagram is shorter for 3 seconds. TikTok as well. With YouTube, they generally say 30 seconds. That's when you can really make sure that you grab the attention of the viewer, and that's when once they go past that, the audience is more likely, as a viewer, more likely to stick around. But the fact that you mentioned there's multiple versions of a hook, it's not just the
Mhm.
text, it's not just what you say, it's all of it together that really works well and creates that magical moment of grabbing that viewer's attention. I feel like that's just key, right? If you wanted to add anything on top of that, James.
Yeah, so on the topic of hooks, I don't know how many people do have the option of trial reels, but that is an amazing option to test out multi-variant hooks and see which ones are resonating more, working more. Um, but like Megan said, it's not just about the hook. Like hooks could even be like a visual hook that just someone throwing something at you, you're catching it, and you're talking about it. And if it's relevant to the topics, even better. But it's then creating the value in a way that it's short, tight to the T of what you want to communicate, but um, not enough that they don't get the value of it. The other thing is you need to make sure that it's at least seventh grade level in terms of understanding, making sure that your audience is actually going to understand what you're talking about. And that's something that we always kind of look at as well. Even for ourselves, when we're creating content, we're saying, okay, what we're talking to our audience is everything that we're saying easily digestible. Could they understand what we're saying? Could we say it in a way that is more people could actually understand it as well?
You ain't even older than I did. 'Cause I try to do. I use this TV show. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, for example? And
Mm,
I'm like, I might have to dumb it down a little bit. Maybe not dumb it down it's the right way, but simplify it in a way that they would understand it in a more comprehensible manner, as you're kind of describing. So I actually aim for fifth grade, but I mean,
mm,
I absolutely understand what you're saying in regards to that. Yes, great tip there, Megan, in regards to the hooks, and I see a lot of people in the live chat are talking about that as well. We did get a couple thumbs up. Um, but let's go on to the next one. I'm going to share mine, but before I do, I would like to remind you, for those that are watching, once again, this is the Social Roundtable, our weekly live series. Myself and Megan do this every week, and we bring on a brand new guest to talk about the topics that you want to talk about. And today we're talking all about IG Reels, trying to help you take it to the next level and make it viral. And if it's not viral, at least get it to a larger regular audience compared to what you've been doing before. Some of these tips you could take and start practicing today. James just mentioned trial reels. That's one of the latest new features that Instagram has introduced. And it's something that a lot of people are utilizing in the same exact way that he just stated. So we're going to be sharing a lot more tips like this. If you guys want to make sure other people are getting these tips as well, make sure to hit the like button on this video. And if you want more videos like this from myself and Megan, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you won't miss an episode that we do every week on Mondays. I'm going to get to my one, and it's interesting because we're kind of talking about, we kind of mentioned like the whole idea of audio. We mentioned some of the sound effects that even you have, James. But
mm,
I heard this conversation the other day from Mr. Beast. Now, for those that don't know, Mr. Beast is like the most followed person on YouTube. I don't even know what the amount is, but it's outrageous, like 150 million probably, and that might be lowballing it. But he's the most followed person on YouTube, and I heard him talking to actual Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Meta, Instagram, and Facebook, and he mentioned that most of his short form content that goes viral are ones without him talking to the video. And he said it's because they are more understandable and globally accessible because he's not speaking a particular language. So people that are speaking Spanish, people that are speaking English, people that are speaking Mandarin, they don't necessarily need to hear what's being said in the reel to understand the concept of what that reel is bringing, whatever the message is. And he used, for example, there was a short that he did with him running with a bag of money. And as he's running, money's falling from the bags. You don't need to understand a particular language to kind of get the message. He's giving away money and he's like running to the camera. There was no words in the short form video. And he said that was one of his most popular videos. But he says the moment that he speaks, he loses a part of his audience. So I find that interesting. So what I'm going to say is consider your reel from a point of view of the person is not playing sound, but also they don't understand the language that you speak. Try to see if you could portray that message without actually speaking. Or I'm not going to say don't put text on the screen. It is important depending on what you are expressing. But if you think you can deliver that message without text and it's just all completely visual, without sound, you might be able to reach more of a accessible audience that doesn't necessarily speak your language. And I say that now. There might be in the future an AI on Instagram where they might be able to translate some of that language that you do put on the screen. Hey, I'll take it back. You can tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead. I would love for Instagram to introduce that feature, but until they do that, try to think of it from that point of view where you want to make it as accessible as you can. I'm quite sure you guys have seen reels before where no word was said, but it was easily understood what was being expressed, right, Megan and James?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And the sense that, we got to make sure you are choosing when to go viral for the right reasons and for the right audience. Yeah.
Yeah, and to that
Yeah,
point, it's really about finding that style that you don't have to talk, but it's still something that a strong pain point for your audience, but doing it in a way that you're not talking, but you're using emotions, or it's like you're like setting up the
yeah,
scene, setting up a scene. But also the good thing with that is that people, it's open up to interpretation. So also a lot of people are going to be talking about it in the comments. "Oh, I feel this way," or so on and so forth. And it's really being creative in your content. It's not about the value, but it's how you package it.
yes, yes. That's a key word that you said right there. Packaging the content in a way and how does one would receive it. I love the way that you put that together. So that's just one of my tips in regards to that. I'm gonna go back to you, Megan, in a moment to get your tip, and then we'll go to you, James, for your last one. But before I do, just want to remind everybody once again, if you're joining, all of our respective links for our YouTube channels and Instagram, you can now find in the description of this video. So please take a moment after the live to go ahead and check out those links and join our respective communities. If you're interested to learn more from each one of us respectively, we share a lot more than you're going to get just from this 30-minute live. So go ahead and join our respective communities on both Instagram and YouTube if you'd like, as well as hit the subscribe button to join this channel so you won't miss any more videos like this with myself and Megan every week on the Social Roundtable. All right, Megan, I'm going to go back to you in case we had any people that just now joined us in the middle of our conversation. We are talking about this is why your reels are not going viral. We are telling you guys the truth. We are not holding anything back. We want to get you guys informed and be honest with you guys in regards to what you guys might be doing wrong. I've done some of these things wrong myself, so I'm being honest about it. But Megan, I'm going to go back to you. The question is, what may be stopping someone's IG reels from going viral?
Well, earlier this year, like at the very beginning of this year, Adam Masuri, head of Instagram, came out and shared like the top three metrics to pay attention to for getting more reach and getting your content pushed out to more people. And the first one was watch time, which, I mean, if I were to share a tip on that, there's quite a lot that goes into increasing your watch time. We kind of touched on them already, but um, that's like a whole masterclass there. So I'll go to the second metric here, which James kind of mentioned, shareability. And to go deeper on that, what's relatable? People are going to share what is relatable. Like if I see a reel that reminds me of my best friend or my husband or, my mom, like I'm sending the reels to that person that it relates with, that I feel like we have that inside
Mhm.
joke, or we both are reaching, trying to reach the same goal, or we both are interested in the same topics. What is something that is going to relate to your ideal audience, and using the right language, the right visuals for that. And, that might feel a little bit overwhelming when you're thinking there's all kinds of things. What do I want? Like, who do I want to relate to this? Maybe you have a wider audience than just that one person. And asking yourself before you hit post, okay, if I was my target audience, would I say, oh my gosh, that's me? Or, oh my gosh, I have to send this to my best friend? Or, oh my gosh, like this, I see myself in this. And
Mhm.
and if the answer is yes, then you're on the right track there of relatability to increase the shareability of something.
Definitely agree with shareability. That seems to be a major one that everybody's talking about, just along with hooks. Also, we want to kind of capture their attention, but then what do we do once we have that attention? Maybe they could help us get the attention of some of their own followers and friends, right, James?
Yeah. And to that point, I think the biggest thing that you need to do at the beginning is really dial in and see who is my target audience. Who is that one person that I'm talking to? And I'm going to be creating those videos towards that one person. And the deeper you're able to go into understanding who that person is, the easier it's going to be to create that type of shareability content.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That shareability content is so key because we see how most of this content goes viral. When we look at those metrics, it's always a high number of shares, a high number of comments. I'm actually, it might not be Instagram, but right now at this very
Hmm.
moment, I shared a comment on Threads yesterday. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. I've shared a comment and it was about explain it was the message was describe a movie in a very bad way. Like you're horrible at explaining what this movie was. And my way was um this this soldier who's on drugs takes he's fighting Nazis with a frisbee.
Hmm.
The answer, in case you guys are wondering, is Captain America.
Yeah.
We break that. It's a horrible way to describe Captain America the movie. But this has went crazy. The amount of shares and comments that it's received is. I posted it yesterday on Threads, and it's already over 100. And I think last time I checked, 120,000
Yeah, and I
views.
think the other thing with
Bec-
that is also something that's controversial topic. So something that is
yes,
going to create a lot of shares, but also create a lot of comments as well that people are like are going to actually going to be talking. Some people are going to be for it, some people are going to be against it as well. So
yes, yeah. So that all plays a part in regards to pushing your content further because it helps get that engagement, and it's a very key engagement. Megan, did you had anything else that you wanted to add to this topic?
Well, wondering with people really comparing that way that you show up in a reel to create that shareability. Let us know in the comments if you find yourself sharing reels, yes or no, thumbs up or thumbs down. Because I know I'm sharing funny reels all of the time, like way too many. My husband has too many dog videos sent to him every day.
Those dog videos will get you. They are no joke. You and if you like one or two, you're now flooded with like a whole pound of dog videos. It doesn't stop. I don't mind it though. I definitely like it. How about you, James? Do you share a lot of reels as well with maybe your wife or your
yeah, I
friends?
think my wife shares more reels to me than I do to her, to be honest. But on that topic, it's really analyzing what are these things that they're sharing. A lot of it, yes, it is the humor factor, but a lot of the stuff is also like practicality, like either like tips and tricks or like things like in terms of like products that you could get that's like solving a problem. It's if like there's so much stuff on Amazon that we could get like that's gonna help for us for our little ones if we're traveling, that there's a lot of stuff that we get shared as well. So
Yeah, I see James, another James in the live chat says sharing is caring.
yes.
You say that funnily, but it is because we think about somebody like you mentioned your husband, he gets a lot of reels from you, Megan. You're thinking of him, and it's more likely that out of all the videos that you probably went and seen that day on Instagram, those videos that you decide to share with him, he's going to add on as views to that
Mhm.
creator's content. And that's how we have to look at it in that aspect. All right. We are going to go to our last tip in regards to what we're talking about. This is why your reels are not going viral. We're going to our fifth tip. We're going to let you bring it on home, James. If you have one final tip to leave with the audience, what would that be?
One final tip would be don't get discouraged. Really don't get discouraged if your video doesn't do well. For me, I've been posting, I think, 1,200 times in the last 4 to 5 years, being consistent, and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Don't be afraid to just put something out there because honestly, sometimes the content that doesn't get out there is the content that could actually go viral. We created a video about a clapperboard and how is that relevant and the functionality behind it. We were even debating to post it. It got 300K plus views. So don't be afraid to put something out there. But at the end of the day, what we always do is we analyze everything on a monthly basis, look at all of our videos, see what's working, see what's not working, see what we could tweak, and then going from there. And every month we do the same thing. We look at everyone that's either in our space or in other spaces of what's working well within the last 30 days. And then after that, see how we could take that same concept and apply it within our niche and our industry.
That's key. And I like the fact I want to jump onto something that you shared there. You look at other industries. You look at others besides your own niche. And I think that's key. I think a lot of people, let's just say you're in marketing, most people just look at their competitors or their peers that are in that same industry. But there's gold when you look at some of the other industries, whether it's fitness or sports or restaurants and fast food. You can find some very interesting concepts in the way that they create reels and bring it to your own niche. And then next thing you know, people might be copying you because they only staying in their own lane, looking for that trending viral reel. So I love the fact that you mentioned you go outside of your own niche to look at what's popping. Awesome. So I think that we shared that was five in total, right?
Yes,
That was
yeah, it
five
was.
in total tips for you guys in regards to why your reels may not be going viral. Some of these things you can start right now, today, to start improving your Instagram reels reach, which will also help us engagement and so much more. Give you more of a better opportunity to get it viral, get it to more people so that you could grow on Instagram and overall just be happy with your content creation and delivery. So I hope that you take all of the content, all of the tips and strategy that we shared here today. And as always, step your gram up in the best way possible. We are pretty much at the end of our live. We usually might have a little bit of time for Q&A. We're a little bit short on time for Q&A today at the moment. I do want to ask, Megan, do you happen to have a question that you might want to? We usually do like a little fun game, James.
Okay.
So we might sign off with that. So
Yeah.
Megan would lead us in this game. I don't know what the question is, but there's no right or wrong question. There's no right or wrong answers. So don't no pressure. But we would love for our audience to get involved as well. So Megan, you can take it away.
Yes, of course. So this week we are playing One's Gotta Go. Gonna give you three items or things that are like, and we'll go around the room here to choose which one, if you had to, would go. Starting off here, One's Gotta Go in regards to reels. A, trending audios. B, voiceovers. Or C, talking head videos. So talking to the camera. James, what would you say?
It would have to be trending audios. If I had to choose one out of the three, it would have to be trending audios because voiceover, it's you're still using your own voice. It's still that human factor. Talking reels as well. At the end of the day, people connect to people, and showcasing your voice and your authority. Um, so if I were to choose one, that's the one that would be.
Awesome, awesome. Yes. Heston, what would you say?
I think James might have persuaded me to change my answer. I was actually going to say voiceover because I don't use voiceover a lot. It's been a long time since I've used it. But you brought up a really great fact of the whole human connection, that as well as the talking head. So I'm going to go with trending audio. Um, and another fact about trending audio, and I've seen it just today. Sometimes trending audios is here today, they're gone tomorrow. So I've seen somebody on a pinned reel. It was
Mhm.
pinned to their page, and this person had a ton of followers, and I clicked on it, and there was no audio because it must have been taken away whenever it was.
Yeah,
So
and
you can't control
that's
that,
something.
unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. That's something to really always take a look at. And that's why it's very rare that we add in a trending audio because, especially if sometimes you're adding in a trending audio when you're doing a talking head, even if you decrease the volume to, let's say, for example, a five or a two, if that audio gets removed, then your voice gets removed as well. So I'm always cautious and
It's
always
Yes.
happened to
use
me.
a royalty free music. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Great
I
point.
feel that. Oh no, that was not good. That's like all your hard work on that reel is gone. So very good point there. And well, I would have to say um talking head videos, which is hard because those are very valid points. I just consume like the trending more, or I love consuming voiceovers. I like the versatility that we get when it comes to like what the visual can be. So um, I see here in the what is that called? Chat. The chat that we have. Angela's put those options for you guys. If you want to vote A, B, or C, one's got to go. Let us know. And do we have time for one more? One quick one. This is going to be
Yeah, I
an
think we
easy
have
one, I
time. I
believe.
just want to make sure I say James did say trending audio as well as Angela. So it seems like trending audio
Oh,
seems
I
to be the
see.
more
Okay,
popular one
cool.
to remove. So
But
yeah,
to
we'll do
that
one
point,
more. Yes.
sorry to interrupt. I'm just gonna say quick. Trending audio is good, especially if someone's not sure, kind of like what to talk about. Some of the trending audio is not actually song, but it's just someone talking and then doing it in a way that's relatable to your audience. So, if done right,
Mm,
trending audio is a great way to use and leverage in your content.
Very true.
yeah.
Yes, good point. There's a right time and place for all of them for sure, and that's why you can see such a variety of content that goes viral with all of these different options. So, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Second question here, real quick, is one's gotta go: Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, or YouTube Shorts. Heston, what would your answer be?
Oh man, why do I always got to go first on the real hard one like that?
Oh,
Well, you know
this is
what?
an
At first, I was gonna say it's real hard, but you know what? Because I don't use TikTok like that, which I hate to say this, but I am gonna jump on TikTok really soon. There's a particular reason why. I'll get into another time. But I'm as of now, I don't use TikTok. I use YouTube and Instagram. So I'll go with that. Get rid of TikTok.
gotcha. See, I knew it was going to be an easier one for you.
Um,
James, what would you say?
I would go with the same thing with TikTok. Even though I'm not that active on YouTube, this is definitely something that has been in our pipeline, because you need to have the variety. You need to have that short form content. And for us, Instagram is our main driver on that regard. But then after that, YouTube is a great way to have a different type of content to really be able to explain your topic, showcase tutorials, tips and tricks, give them some vlogs, day in the life. So I like having both the short and the long form, but also at the moment I'm not as active on TikTok.
Mm, gotcha. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of torn. Like, I want to say TikTok because I don't really like creating there, but I do like to consume there. And that's really like the only platform I enjoy consuming content on. So I guess I'm going to have to say YouTube Shorts because when I'm on YouTube, I personally watch longer, even though it benefits me to post shorts. But yeah, I think that I would have to say goodbye to YouTube Shorts. So it's a hard one. I don't know
I
if
had a feeling you might choose that one. I had a feeling you might have chose that one. I will
can't
say
we just
though, I just heard this stat. I just heard this stat from YouTube. They just announced, I believe it was last week during VidCon, that they are now at 2 billion short views a day. I think it's 2 billion a day they're at now, which I think means that they have actually surpassed Instagram Reels. I think they have surpassed in views. So trial reels might be very important. It might be a big factor towards getting it back up there, but uh, shorts have only been around for 2, maybe 3 years. That's significant growth. Something that we shouldn't shy away from. So just wanted to put that out there.
very
One
true.
quick thing I did want to add: if you have a reel that goes viral, please put that as a trial reel as well. And then after
Mm.
that, when you put it as a trial reel, do not just let it run. That's a question that I get all time and time again: is my video is doing well on trial reels? What should I do? Should I push it live to my audience, or should I just keep it there? I always advise just keep it there. So that's just more something. If you do get those types of virality videos, that's another great avenue to put it onto as well.
Awesome with the
Such
bonus at the end.
yes.
Awesome. Well, I think that is all that we have to share here today, guys. We just wrapped up our incredible topic. This is why your reels are not going viral. If you happen to have caught part of the conversation, you didn't start from the beginning, it's not a problem. As we end this live, it will be available on my YouTube channel. So make sure you go back on my YouTube channel as well as Megan's. We are actually streaming to two YouTube channels at once. So please go back and check out on either one of our channels our full conversation with the one and incredible James Massey of via.massey. You can find the link at the bottom of our description. But I want to give you a moment, James, to let the people know where they can find you, if there's anything else besides the links that I shared, as well as anything that you are up to that they might be interested in.
Yeah, so if you do want, Instagram is the primary place that we're usually on, at via.massey. And then at the end of the day, I we just generally want to help as much people as we can when it comes to your videos, when it comes to video editing. We have so much different types of digital products available on our stand store, whether it be sound effects, and easy to use ones that you can just drag and drop no matter what type of software you're using. We do use Premiere Pro, but whether you're using CapCut or anything else in there as well. But even if you just want to send a DM and just have a chat, say, look, I have a video that's not doing too well. Could you help me a little bit? And that's another topic. If ever you guys are open to it, of having audience send videos, and we could kind of like give some hands-on advice of what we would do, because like I said, sometimes it's not the video, it's not the value that you're doing in the video, it's just about the way that you structure it accordingly. So anything that we could really do to help our audience, more is welcome. So
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that, James. And I have it on the screen right now. This is just a little preview of their Instagram page. But as he said, they also have a stand store right here. You can find the link there. It's also in the description. I did put the stand store in
mm,
the description of this YouTube video, so you can check that out as well. But thank you so much for joining us today, James. We really do appreciate your feedback, your insight, your experience in regards to this world of video marketing. It's an exciting world to be in because we are always seeing something new, and we do have to understand video is the way of the future right now of content. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whether it's short or long, people are craving video, and we have to figure out the best ways to get our content in video format to our audience, the ones that we already have, and those that we are trying to acquire. So I hope this conversation really did enlighten you guys in regards to different ways to improve your Instagram Reels. Megan, if you want to take a moment as well to share where people can find you and what are you up to?
Yeah, of course. So you guys can find me here on YouTube, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Newsletter every week goes out on Mondays, and the podcast Happy Creating is launching by the first of next week, so next Monday. So excited for that.
Awesome. Congratulations once again. Now you could add podcaster to the title right there. I love that. Awesome. Uh, respect. We love you, Angela. Angela, our moderator in the live chat. Thank you so much for joining and helping us with the live chat, holding it down. Her links are also in the description as well if you want to look for her. She teaches all about live streaming, going live on Instagram. And I think she also applies that to YouTube as well. So if you're looking for a live coach, she's your girl. I myself, Hassan of Social Varsity. You can find me on Instagram and Threads, social.varsity, or here on YouTube. Once again, hit the subscribe button to join the community. Right now, for those that don't know, I specialize in DM automation with Manychat, and I have started an IG subscription so that I could teach you the details of using Manychat. Some people know just how to send links. I'm going to take it much further if you want to learn all about Manychat. So go ahead and check out my IG subscription, and it's available for a low cost. I'm not even going to say it. Just check it out. Go ahead and check it out. Hit the subscribe button and get a couple previews. But with that being said, we are all done and wrapped. Hope to see you guys next week for our next episode of the Social Roundtable. And until then, take care and have a great one. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
hi.
This is why your reels are not going viral. We